Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Terra Mystica. This is the third video in my series on the Terra Mystica Tournament Season 36. Yeah, there we go. The first game we kind of did first video we did faction selection, last game we did Chaos Magicians. This game we're going to be summarizing what happened in my Engineers game. So recall that we chose Engineers mainly because there are so few bonus tiles relating to coins available. We're missing the 6 coins, and we're also missing the 2 coins, 1 dig action. So 8 of the 14 coins are gone. Furthermore, there was temple scoring in round 1, which seemed like a nice bonus for Engineers. And those were the main things that caused me to choose Engineers. I think that the last video sort of was evidence that we can't. My hope of a more interactive format where you guys kind of say what you'd like to do was maybe too optimistic. It's just not that easy to get the input of a board state and come up with a coherent plan. So I'm going to instead just kind of describe what was happening, what I was thinking, or what I think I remember thinking. And of course, if you guys want to, I would still be happy to hear any feedback, advice, etc. in the comments. But I'm not going to be introducing explicit, like, go ahead and pause the video now instructions. So we were player 1, and my play round 1, if you remember the first video in this series, you know exactly what I'm going to do, because it was kind of like my dream scenario was like, well, if I could get the 4 coins and 1 cult action in round 1, I would be thrilled, because then I could get up to 4 earth in the first couple rounds and get this spade and etc. Maybe even up to 8 earth in round 2 if I could like get an extra priest. I don't remember if I did that. That would be pretty amazing. But it's something you could maybe do. One thing that is going to be a theme all throughout this game is doing everything I can to deprive the opponents of coins. Right? I identified early on that this game is all about not having many coins. And so I took a faction that is playable with a small number of coins, which is great. And of course, you want as many more coins as you can get. But at least as important is, whenever possible, stop the opponents from getting coins, because they really, really need them. Right? So take bonus 2 when you can. Take bonus 9, if it's reasonable, or whatever has coins on it. Grab action 4 if you can possibly do it. Right? These things will starve the opponents. So I managed to do that a fair amount this game. But round 1, pretty predictable. Everybody starts with a trading post. Everybody starts with a temple after that. And the first 3 players to do it grabbed earth 1. It's not always that degenerate. Sometimes people take a little break. But here you can, especially with earth being rewarded early, everyone really wanted earth 1. And the 4th guy to build a temple had to settle for earth 2. Which is kind of like, I don't know. I'm not sure if earth 2 is what I would pick. It's probably fine. Oh, yes, but I mean, as the cultist, he could very easily get to 8 earth by round 2 as well. So that's a maybe argument for taking earth 2. And since he doesn't have earth 1, he'll probably be building fewer dwellings than the other factions, and so getting workers is probably fine. I don't know. So after everyone grabs their temple, it's my choice here. And I suppose, what would I do here? We're obviously building a trading post well, not obviously, but that was the plan. We're building a trading post and a temple with our last 2 workers. And that's going to cost 6 coins. So we don't have any workers left this round. But I remember that sometime during round 1, I did take the double dig, and right now seems like a pretty good time to do it. It sort of goes against what I was just saying about like grab the coin action whenever you can. But right now, I don't need coins. I need dwellings and workers. And I might actually have put it off on the grounds that, like, well, no one else has enough power to take it right now, and the cultists aren't about to get any more. They're the only ones who could threaten. But actually, I don't know if that's... Yeah, I think I could put it off. I don't know if I should, but I could. Hoping to gain more power from the Darklings building a trading post or something. Let's see what I did. I did. I upgraded this to a trading post. So that I could gain 2 more power from the Darklings and have to burn less while taking the dig action. Someone grabbed a priest? Who was that? Chaos Magicians burned 3 to get a priest. It seems quite reasonable to me. It's a priest scoring round, right? And they may need some help to get up to 4 Earth. Notice, by the way, cultists already at 8 Earth. It's just unbelievable how fast these guys can go. How did they do that? What on earth? I mean, they took Earth 2. That helped. They sent a priest to Earth for 3. And people have been sharing power with them, so they gotta... Yeah, I gained power from them twice, I guess, which gave them 2 Earth. They started with 1 that's 3 more from their priest and 2 more from their favor tile. Yeah, so cultists, it's just unbelievable how fast they go. But okay, now it's time for me to grab the double dig. And I chose these 2 tiles. I'm not really sure if that was the best plan. Or if I should have grabbed 1 here and then 1 over in this area. I think it probably would have been better to take E9 and 1 of these 2. But I didn't do that. I ended up having some trouble with this at the beginning of a later round because I wanted to take 2 digs, but I was not adjacent to 2 diggable tiles. And so I think spreading out would have been a bit better. Nonetheless, this is what I did. And I didn't build anything, of course, because I couldn't. I have no... Oh, no, I have a worker. Why didn't I build? Oh, I remember why. It was to deny everyone of coins. I wanted to take my turn as slowly as possible so that cult bonus tile would be the last one returned. What a jerk. Oh, I love this game. Yeah, that was the idea. Right. So I didn't do this because I would rather be the last one to pass. And let's just look at how likely that is. You know, what are the Chaos Magicians going to do with all their income? Or all their remaining workers? They'd like to build a dwelling, but they can't really dig anything and also build. Unless they burn 3 and convert 3 power to a worker and spend 3 workers digging out B4, then they could do it. That's pretty dang expensive. You know, there's no dig actions left. Nobody has the dig bonus because it's not available this game. Darklings have passed. Yeah, I don't really see anyone lasting even 1 turn, let alone 2. Oh no, it would have to. It's just 1 because I've already taken the double dig, and now I'm about to build a dwelling. Right? What happened? Oh, I went even slower. Right. I now. Okay, hang on. I just took the double dig, and then I upgraded to a temple. Doing that after the Darklings had passed, so they wouldn't be able to make use of the power this turn. They declined. I think they should have taken it. You should be happy to accept 4 power in the early game. 3 points is not really that big a deal, but being able to do something with 4 power is great. Right. Wait, did I like skip too? Oh! I was looking at my workers and saying the reason I didn't build a dwelling here isn't because I wanted to go slow. It was because I need my last worker to make this a temple, which was the whole plan of round 1. Got it. So I do that, which gains me 2 earth and a little more power. Now I still have a cult action to spend, and everyone else has passed. So I spend my cult action, and I... this is all in 1 turn, because everyone else has passed already, so I can take several actions. I took the cult bonus action for Earth, and then I did something that you don't often do. Convert 3 power to 1 worker. It's just not a very good deal most of the time. And I even burned power to do it, so it seems a little questionable, right? It's pretty expensive to take an action that is not usually that great. But the reason for it, the reason that I think it was a good idea, is that I got another dwelling out of it. Like, if you want, you could imagine this as turning 3 power into 2 workers, right? Because I get the worker that I spend this turn to build a dwelling, and then next turn I get a dwelling out of it. So, like, I don't know. In some ways, this is always true. Like, when you gain workers, you get something out of it. Yeah, maybe that's actually the most compelling point against what I'm saying, actually. Is that whenever you, like, gain workers, you're doing it because you expect the workers to produce like, compound value for you. Over several turns. And so maybe the fact that I'm doing it at the end of a turn and gaining an extra worker for it is not actually all that exciting. Like, clearly it's better than spending 4 power next turn to get 2 workers, because I'm kind of spending 3 power this turn to get a worker now and a worker next turn. But wouldn't it be even better if I could get 2 workers? It would, right? If I could burn even 1 more power, I would be thrilled to take the worker bonus action and put down 2 workers. So I don't know. From that point of view, this is not such a high value action, but I think it's still well worth taking when I can get some good value out of it. Like, I don't know. The game is all about compounding value, or that's some of what it's about anyway. And here I saw a clear opportunity to compound some value. And interestingly, I was the only one to spend almost all of my coins in round 1, and I had more than everybody else. I'm not sure really how that happened. I guess it's because I built 2 temples, right? Oh, I didn't have more because engineers start with less, and I gained the cult action, but it sort of cancels out with itself. Okay, fine. So what bonus tile are we taking when we pass? Probably either 5 or 8. If I had to guess, like, I have 2 worker income and 0 coin, which is pretty dire. But I think I'm just building a dwelling next turn, basically. I don't know. So I could gain I don't know. These are both sort of okay. But there's a kind of a hidden advantage, which to having done a ton of stuff in round 1. Which is that I've spent all my coins and I'm going to do nothing on round 2. And this doesn't sound like an advantage, but recall the theme of this game, which is preventing the opponents from getting coins. I hung on to bonus 2 for as long as I could. I'm now going to return it to the pool and then immediately take it again, is my plan here. So I don't remember which bonus tile I took. Let's see. Oh, well, the one I predicted I would not take. Interesting. I guess I just really wanted the 2 workers. That's fair. I have very little worker income. Wait, why did it say I have 0 coin income? Did I read something wrong? Oh, yeah, because I thought I had a trading post, but I didn't. I upgraded it to a dwelling. Okay. Yeah. I took the sanctuary scoring, huh? I'm not sure what that was about. Probably just wanted some workers. I'm not totally sure why yet, but workers are good and I don't get that many of them, so sure. And the opponents kind of like did normal stuff, you know, upgrade, dwelling. What did the Darklings do? They bought a priest. Okay. And I built my dwelling. And then I passed. That was all I wanted to do that turn. I just built a dwelling and then passed and took back my cult style. I love it so much. And this time it had 5 coins on it. No coins for anybody else. All for me. Is anyone converting to coins yet? Not yet. They're not that desperate. Okay, well, so that was basically all of round 2 for me. And then round 3 begins, and yeah, it's time for me to... This is the time when I was kind of sad about the way that I had built out my stuff, where I dug, about double digging here, is that I really wanted to, like... There were a lot of things I wanted to do with this round. I wanted to get my dig here, and then I wanted to build here, and then double dig, like, here and somewhere over here. But I couldn't do that because I had to double dig too soon, right? I have to double dig right away, or else the Chaos Magicians will take it. Like, they probably want it. It's a good action. Why wouldn't they take it? And if I'm doing that, I can't spend any of my digs over on the Eastern Continent. I have to spend them both here. So that's why in round 1, when I double dig, one of them should have been E9, and the other one should have been over here. It would be a little slower to build my first town, but I would be doing a better job of securing a location over here, right? This red tile, it's a little precarious. The Chaos Magicians would love to come over here if they could, and not just because it cuts me off, but because it's a great way for them to get some dwellings down. On the other hand, nope, no other hand. They did get Earth 1. It was the cultists who didn't, right? So they would love to just plop down some dwellings here like I did last game. And it's important for me to get up here and cut them off, and that's why I built, why it was wrong for me, I think, to double dig over here so early. But it's now the dwelling scoring round, so we really want to get down a bunch of dwellings, clearly. And we want to start investing in fire. I have 2 priests left because I didn't spend any in the second round, so I could grab the coin, the cult bonus tile as early as possible. So what did I do next? I think I double dug, right? Yeah, had to grab that before someone else could. And the Chaos Magicians took a single dig and spent 3 workers digging. So, like, they clearly really did want to go here. So this worry about them coming up here is very justified, even though, as of yet, they have only 1 shipping. Which, by the way, when did they get 1 shipping? I remember, yeah. Oh, I wasn't paying attention in round 2, because I was just passing. I remember as this game was being played, I was like trying to time out, like, would I be able to get up here and grab this before the Chaos Magicians came over? Because they're like really low on workers and coins at this point. And so I was like, well, they can build here, but then they won't be able to build any more this turn. They'll have to pass. Then next turn they'll have to advance ship before they can build here, so I can get there before them. And I only realized after making that calculation that no, actually, they've already advanced ship. Their very first action next turn could be to build here, and there's nothing I can really do about it. Whereas if I had built more with more forethought, I could have had this round instead of next round and be safe from that incursion. I took, when I double dug, I built here first so that if the cultists come down, I get a little more power in exchange for helping them advance, which they're going to get anyway. What's next? I sent a priest to fire. No, I didn't. I sent a priest to air. I'm not so sure about this decision. It's like, yeah, it gets me one further on the air track, and there's an air scoring round eventually. But there's 2 fire scoring rounds in the meantime. Like, shouldn't I be investing in this? I don't know. I guess you could make the point that, like, as the engineers, like, against the Chaos Magicians and the Cultists, it's not realistic for me to win many cult tracks. Maybe one. Maybe. And so air is something no one's going to be paying much attention to for a while. Maybe I can make some inroads on it. But I don't know. I think it might have been better to just grab some fire. On the other hand, I might not be able to get to 4. There's going to be a lot of people pouring priest into fire, and if I put 1 here, I might not get a second. And just 1 is not worth all that much. So, I don't know. Could be reasonable. What was my next action? I built here. Sure. And then I built here. Oh, and a trading post for a town. Oh, yeah, that's so good. Right. So there was an advantage of digging out here first, which is that I got my town in round 3. And I took the coins. This is the theme of the game. Always take the coins. So that's actually another good reason for me to have like taken the 2 worker action bonus tile last round, is that I'm going to be getting more coins, and I'm really going to struggle to find enough workers to spend them all. But this coin action let me... I don't know. What else did I do this round? Did I build another trading post maybe for more coins? What am I doing here? I must have done something. This is so weird. Between these 2 turns, it's like just it's shuffling these people around. Yeah, and if I had aimed for fire, I wouldn't have gotten up to 4, I think. Anyway, well, okay, so what was my next action then? Advance ship! Okay, one of the things that won't show up on the board, only down here. Yes, right! I gained the 6 coins, and I have a priest lying around. That's why I didn't want to send 2 into fire, because I was going to advance shipping to get to C5 this turn. That doesn't exactly discourage the Chaos Magicians from cutting me off, but at least if they do cut me off, I'll get a little more power. And in the meantime, like, I'll have gotten more worker income. So I could take C2 instead of C5, but C5 is hopefully going to be part of a town in the future. If it's not, like, okay, I can take F7 or something and make a sanctuary town here, but it would be a real bummer. On the other hand, it would be really nice to get F7 to cut off the Darklings from connecting up their network. Because if you look at the scoring, like, the Darklings are the lead contender at this point. This tends to happen with the Darklings because they get points for free for, like, just digging, which is a thing they do want to do anyway. And they maybe fall off a little bit towards the late game, but not always. They're often off to a strong start. But at any rate, I was like, well, if anyone's threatening me this game, it's the Darklings, so it would be nice. Getting F7 wouldn't be the end of the world, but I wouldn't, like, I'd rather just take some easy towns and maybe get F7 later. Right, so advanced shipping. Oh my god. I have enough workers to do both of these things. Yes. So I built here, thinking, like, maybe somehow the cultists want this space, or they want H3 and I'll gain power from them or something. And only then I built C5. It didn't really matter. Everyone else had passed a long time ago, what order I did those things in. And it's time to pass again. So what bonus tile do we want? Probably bonus 9, right? I have a ton of dwellings, and I want coins. So let's see if that's what happened. No. Wow. I'm so bad at predicting what I will have done in the past. I took shipping, scoring, and power. That's an interesting one. What did I want the power for? I was gaining 7. So that's putting me 3, 6. So one of that power is even being wasted, right? I can't fit 10 power. I can only fit 9. So why was I so excited to get shipping scoring? It's only 3 points. I mean, it must have been because I really wanted 6 power for something. Because if all I wanted is points, I would have taken the dwelling scoring and the coins, right? Or am I like mistaken and I had that last turn? No, I had the cult score, the cult action. What did I really, really want 6 power for? I mean, the only answer is the double dig, right? But where was I going to double dig? Like a single dig on D7, I get it. But what else do I want? Ah! G3. Those are the 2 tiles I wanted to double dig. Because I want to connect up my network. And to do that, I either need to take this desert tile, yuck, and get 2 shipping, or else take this forest tile and get 3 shipping to connect up to this dwelling. Now, also, I could take this, what is it even called? Is this plains? It might be plains. I don't remember. It's brown anyway. Dirt. Might just be dirt. I don't know. If I were here, I would still need 3, right, to go across. So G3 is a convenient launching off point for some ships to the eastern continent. So that's what I wanted the double dig for, and I wanted it right away so that if the Chaos Magicians left me D7, I could turn it brown immediately and build it. I didn't really expect them to leave it to me, but I wanted that option open, I suppose. On the other hand, well, actually, I don't know. I still don't know why the Chaos Magicians did not take D7 right away. It's very puzzling to me. They didn't. Oh, I remember why. And I very much disagree with their play here. Can you guess what the Chaos Magicians did? They built a sanctuary with one of their first actions. I don't remember if it was their first, but it costs all of their income. And it's true, they do get the sanctuary scoring round, which is nice. So what did they actually do? They sent a priest to water to get some more power so that they could, I suppose, get some more coins, probably. They can't get the coin action, but they can at least convert more coins to power directly. And then they grabbed the sanctuary. So when they sent a priest to water as their highest priority, I was like, oh my god, thank you so much for giving me D7. I built D7, I turned G3 gray, and I was like, okay, I won this game. That was a humongous turning point. I was still the tiniest bit worried that the Chaos Magicians might take G3 just to spite me once they get 2 shipping, so it's a little bit of a priority for me to get that eventually, but it's not a huge rush. And I think I worry a little bit too much, at least in these beginner level games down in Division 7. A little bit too much about opponents spiting me. I almost never get a chance to spite anyone. And I worry all the time about opponents spiting me. So I think I'm sort of imagining it. I'm focused a lot on what I want to do, and so I imagine the opponents are focusing on what I want to do as well, even though, of course, they're mostly focused on what they want to do. A higher level player would probably recognize both of those things and choose whether it's more important to progress on your own objectives or impede your opponents. But especially in a 4-player game, it's pretty rare that it's good for you to spite someone because you never know if they're even really going to be your main competition. Either, maybe they're just going to be in 4th and you don't care, in which case spiting them sucks. Or maybe they're, guaranteed first and you're just fighting for 2nd, and, you don't want to waste time slowing them down if they're still going to get 1st, right? You'd rather fight the guy who's fighting you for 2nd. So anyway, I took that double dig, and what do I have left? 2 coins and 4 workers. And I've built 7 dwellings. Now, the engineers actually do get a worker income for their 8th dwelling. their worker curve is different from everyone else's, right? Everyone else gets a worker for dwellings 1 through 7. They get ones for 1 and 2, 4 and 5, and 6. 1 and 2, 4 and 5, 7 and 8. Yeah. So even though I'm at 7 dwellings, there is a good reason to build another dwelling this turn instead of next turn. And G3 would be nice to secure, assuming I don't need the resources for something else this turn, right? If I like want to build a trading post or something, that might be a higher priority. Like work on getting this town, maybe. Can I afford to do that? I can, right? I can build 2 trading posts this turn? Yeah. I have to convert 2 workers to coins, but I can do it. And that would probably be worth doing, wouldn't it? Let's find out. What did I do? I did not build 2 trading posts. Ah! There's a trading post scoring round coming up. Got it. So I could get the town this turn, but I don't really need it that much. Why did I not build G3? Oh, I probably wanted to get the right bonus tile. I wanted the dwelling scoring tile, huh? I wonder about taking this one with the coins, but it's late enough in the game. I have so many dwellings. Taking a bunch of points is probably okay to let the other guys have a few coins. But I don't know. Why not take G3 first, right? Oh my god, sorry about all the jumping around. I'm just like trying to keep track of what turn I'm on. Oh, I remember this was actually a slight, this was a bit of a moment in the game, actually. I was at this point thinking, well, look, the trading post scoring round is coming up. Next round, I want to build trading posts anyway to get a town here. And I'm going to get scoring for it. Why don't I build another temple to take water 1? There are only... already 2 of them are taken, so there's only 1 left. But I looked around and was like, I don't know, is anybody really going to take it right now? I don't know. I must be misremembering what happened here, because I could swear. Oh no, I remember. No, I thought that at some point in this round, I put off building a temple and then regretted it. Maybe I'm getting this mixed up with my dwarves game. That must be what's happening. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of similar here. The Darklings built their sanctuary here, which is a building they're clearly going to build here eventually because they want to make 2 towns before they connect up, so they need a sanctuary up here. Or else, like, I don't know, a bridge to B6, which, yuck. And so I'm not actually going to be able to get water 1. But at this point, it sort of looks like... I don't know. I'm not sure why I passed instead of building that dwelling. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me right now. Maybe I forgot that the engineers get income for their 8th dwelling and thought I might as well do it next turn, and if I pass now, I can guarantee a good bonus tile. I don't know. This just looks like a clear blunder to me, because there's no way anyone else is passing out this round, this turn. You can get the same bonus tile, but have another worker, like, for free. I don't understand this at all. But there you go, I passed. Okay. Well, there you have it. And then like some more stuff happened. Chaos Magicians and Cultists are still in. Darklings took the cult action. And what did the Chaos Magicians and Cultists do? Chaos Magicians converted a power to a coin because they're going to get overflowed by all the cult income. And then they both just passed, taking Sanctuary scoring and shipping. Yeah, so the Chaos Magicians did take Sanctuary in that round eventually. Spending like a... How did they do that? They didn't seem to have all that much. Okay. They spent down to a humongous, like almost nothing. Right, what did it cost them to build their Sanctuary? Yeah, burn 3, convert 4 power to 4 coins, convert 3 workers to 3 coins. Right, this is what you want to see as the engineers. Like when I started this game, it was like I want people to have to do horrible stuff like this to get the coins they need. And he got the Sanctuary scoring tile. He got, and he got a town. Favors 6 and 5. Like, what are those exactly? Right, water 2 and fire 2, which was needed to get the town. Then he picked up more cult points from the town, like clearly very heavily fighting the cultists. And I guess fire 2 got him ahead of the cultists on fire, which is very useful. Darklings and I just kind of sitting around here, not caring about all this cult nonsense. Okay. So we're into the next round now, and I'm up first. I predict that I will take action 4. Right? That seems like the kind of thing a heel would do, and I'm playing the heel this game. Hello? Where's what I did? Yep, action act 4. Got him. Take all the coins. Amazing. I love it. Right. Already into the second turn of the round, and everyone else is basically broke on coins. And very flush with workers, because they got a ton out of the fire cult. But meanwhile, I'm the engineers, and I have 14 coins and 10 workers. Like, it's time to get building. We want to finish this town this turn. We want to build G3 at some point. Oh! I wonder if the reason I didn't build G3 is because I was putting it off for 2 turns to get dwelling scoring? Oh, I hope that's not what I was thinking, because it's such a bad idea. Like, notwithstanding the fact that, like, you could... Maybe notwithstanding was the wrong word. Even ignoring the fact that you can be cut off, like the Chaos Magicians might build there just to screw me. 2 workers, like a worker in round 5 and in round 6, you add those together, it's probably worth more than 2 points. You can do such valuable stuff in the late rounds with all your scoring favor tiles and so on. Also consider that, like, 2 workers is enough for me to build a dwelling. Right? I just turn one of the workers into a coin and I build a dwelling. And so if I could gain, like, a worker in round 5 and a worker in round 6, I could still build the same dwelling in round 6 and get 4 points for it instead of 2. Well, yeah. So if I was choosing to, like, I could have built a dwelling at this point and gotten 2 points for it, and then later had 2 more workers to build a dwelling here and get 4 points. It's very silly to delay building this here so that I can build it here for 4, if I could get 4 anyway and also get 2 more. Now, that's really an optimistic evaluation for 2 reasons. One is, you have to have somewhere to put the dwelling. You need gray tiles. And, like, there are a lot available. They might not all stick around, but, you know, probably there are enough gray tiles. However, I'm going to run out of dwellings. right? I already have 7. I'm going to build a few trading posts, and that'll give me some breathing room. But, you know, I might not actually be able to turn those 2 workers into a dwelling in the last round. But I can probably do something good with them. So, at any rate, I should have built a dwelling that round, but I didn't. Okay, so we took action 4. And what? Started building some trading posts? Yep. And the town tile that I took... What town tile would I want? I can't take coins again. The cultists took that. Oh yeah, I bet I took a priest, right? Priest is just like a generally good tile. It's got 9 points printed on it. And you can often do something with a priest that's worth at least 2 points, making it better than this. It probably is not reasonable to take the 8 power. What would I spend it on this round? I would probably just spend it on 2 workers. If anything. Or maybe a priest. In which case, it would be better to take the higher scoring bonus tile, and instead of spending the 8 power, just like get the thing I want. So I bet I took the priest. Yeah. Not totally clear yet what I'll spend it on, but, you know, advanced dig, maybe. You know, send priest to air. Those all seem plausible. You know, if there's no more contention on water, it would be nice to send a priest to water and snap up like 3 points or something. It's not very likely, though. My ambitions on the cult track should really be restricted to like trying to come second on air. Maybe first, so I'm very, very lucky. But probably not. The Chaos Magicians and Cultists are going to be fighting me for it. And they're good at it. Okay, so we've built our town. We still have 10 coins and 8 workers. It's almost certainly time to build another trading post somewhere. One of these 2. And you know what? I bet we build a temple as well, just to make room for more trading posts. And the temple, it would make the favor tile it would make sense to take is probably air 1, just to grab like 8 points for our 4 trading posts twice. Not as good as getting water 1 early, but worth something. So I bet we temple now. Yep. And we took air 1. Yep. And then we built a trading post. Yep. And another trading post. Nope. Dwelling time. Ah. This is when I finally realized that this whole idea of G3 is like I've just had the wrong idea the whole time. I did it after the Darklings and everyone else had passed, which is like kind of, I don't know. And the Chaos Magicians in particular, who are the ones I was worried might have taken it. Like, I don't know. If you were going to build G3, you should have built it a long time ago. Like, I remember thinking in my planning, I was like, okay, the Chaos Magicians, like, it's not really high on their priority list to take G3, but should I really let them, like, screw me just because, like, it's costing me like 18 points if they take G3. It's so bad. So I decided to pay the slight point premium to lock in G3 this turn so they couldn't take it next turn. If I'm going to do that, I should have done it earlier this round, or even better, in round 4. But at least I finally did it. And only then the last trading post, yeah, followed by a pass. And look at that! The cult scoring tile is in there again. I can get all the coins I want. Although, maybe I would take bonus 8? Take the priest? I don't know. Probably I take the coins, but priests are good too. I took the coins. Okay. So is a cult action worth... Is a cult action and 2 coins worth more than a priest? I say 2 because there were 2 coins on the priest tile, so I could have had 2 coins and a priest. I don't know. Probably seems fine. both actions are reasonable, I think. And so this round, we obviously want to build a lot of dwellings. I already have 4 on the board, so I can build 4 more. I can't build any more trading posts. It's illegal. So that means I can't make space for any more dwellings. So the main thing I'm doing this round is just building dwellings. I can't even make space for more trading posts by building more temples because I'm out of temples. So if I want to make space for anything more than 4 dwellings this turn, I have to build like a stronghold. And there is some consideration to like a stronghold here, bridge here. It's worth like a few points. But not nearly enough to be worth the resources you spent on the stronghold. It would be better to just what am I saying? To advance digging with that money or something like that would probably be better. But at the moment I have 5 priests, so that's I guess another argument not for taking the priest bonus tile is I was going to have 5 anyway. I guess I must have had 3 last turn when I passed. Really? What was that all about? Why not spend them on anything now while I have the time? I don't know. It seems like it would have made sense to spend them on either fire or earth or air, or what? Maybe the idea is just trying to hedge and spend them as late as possible. On the one hand, like, I want to make sure they get 2 steps each, but whichever cult track I try to fight on, someone will be able to pass me. So I think it's reasonable to just wait until the end, find a cult track that still has some 2 spaces on it, and send a few priests there. Plus, of course, I have to spend 2 of them on shipping this round, and I might want to spend 1 or 2 on digging. So I don't actually have all that many priests lying around, and I want to make sure they go somewhere where they'll be used. I remember I actually spent a lot of time going back and forth on the planning for this turn. Because I get a spade this round, and I was like, I have all the gray tiles I could possibly need, right? I have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and I can only use at most 4. So what I wanted to focus on was hampering the Darklings, and with my cult income, I dug this out to yellow. And first of all, this just annoys the Darklings, because now they have to spend 2 digs instead of 1 to get there. But also, if we look at what am I trying to say? I was looking at this and saying, you know what? I'm going to have 6 power. And if I dig this to yellow, the Darklings get 1 turn before I go. And if they don't immediately take this, I will take it from them. Oh, something I didn't notice is the Darklings actually took fire too at some point with probably this temple bonus. So they completed both their towns rather cheaply. Anyway, it's really good for the Darklings to have this square. And I'd rather spend my power on something else. But if I can take away 12 points from the Darklings, I think that's better than getting a few points myself. So I was willing to invest a 2 dig in taking this tile as my first action of the round if they let me. So that really puts a big threat on the Darklings, is they actually have to take that as their first action. They can't like grab a power action or whatever. And bizarrely, once again, wait, what happened? Oh! Cultists dropped from the game. Right. Like, what? Remember, someone dropped from the game in round 1 of our first of 2 of the games, right? Well, of all 4 of his games, which is 2 of mine. And I was like, okay, that seems weird. And everyone else in the tournament says that doesn't normally happen. including people who played for like 20 seasons. They're like, that's weird. That's never happened to me before. But okay, it happens. Just someone forgot he registered or whatever. But this guy dropped, like, he was just kind of playing slowly and ran out his clock. I even like sent a message to the chat. I was like, hey, you're going to get dropped soon if you don't play. And I thought it was weird, obviously. But I looked at his profile, and it says 2 now. But at the time, it said 1. This guy's played 673 games, and he had never dropped out of a single game. He dropped out of 1 after playing with me, and he has since dropped out of another game in the tournament. Like, something must have just happened in real life that this guy just didn't have time to finish the tournament, I guess. But I was, like, pretty surprised. But anyway, right, so I was... I guess I thought for some reason that someone else would have 4 power. Oh, right. I was like kind of sad about spending a double dig here, but I figured whatever. The cultists are going to take action coins, which is what I really want, and taking the dig is not the end of the world for me. But then the cultists dropped out of the game and no one had enough power, so I could do whatever I wanted with my digs. With my power, I mean. And the Darklings did react to the threat and connect these up, so they're going to have a pretty sizable network now. So I just grabbed Action 4, and once again, everyone else is almost broke, and I have 20 coins. The game is just going swimmingly. I'm down on points, but already in endgame scoring, I'm close. Because of, like, my network scoring, I assume. Oh, no, I haven't even upgraded my shipping yet. I'm just doing better on the cults than the Darklings are? No. How am I so close to them here? While being behind here, and also not really ahead on the cults? I gotta know. Where are all the points coming from? Oh, it's saying, well, if you passed, you could turn all these resources into 12 points. Whereas the Darklings could get only 4 for theirs. I get it. I have 10 on the cults, and they have 7. But their bonus tile is going to score them points. So, I don't know. Those come out about the same. It's just like I have so many more resources that even if I don't do anything with them, I'll come out ahead. Funny. Right, so I grabbed the coin action and sent a priest to Earth right away. I don't really understand why. Oh! Because the people in front are cultists. They're not going to be able to fight back anymore. That's pretty funny. And I wanted to make sure that I got my priest in while there were still 2 tracks, I guess. Okay. So what's the next action that I took here? Advanced shipping, yeah. And then... Right, I needed to advance shipping to get here. This one is sort of at risk, whereas all the stuff over here I can take whenever I want. So I grabbed this one first. And then I built here, and here, and here. And only then did I finalize... Yeah, at this point, everyone else has passed, and I'm just scoring points in whatever way is convenient for me. And look at all this stuff I have left. So what do I do next? Advanced dig. Yeah, interesting. Advanced dig, because I only need 1 more priest and my cult action to pass the cultists, I guess. Ah, I decided it was... Oh, I don't care about passing the cultists. Or not that much. It's worth 4 points to me to pass them, but I'm not taking those 4 points away from anyone like I normally would be. So here, I took 4 points to pass the Chaos Magicians and also cost them 4. Not that it super matters. They're not winning or anything. Yeah, they're coming third regardless. So I don't know. It comes out the same, but I didn't have to spend my cult action to do it. And then, what was my last action? I'm a little lost. I did this. I sent a priest to air. And then it says action bonus 2, but I haven't... For some reason, it inserts a break in between the turns here before I actually take my cult track advancement. What I actually took was water, just to get a point here. That was the only thing I could reasonably do with 1 step on the cult track. I could have gained 2 power, but that's worth at most 1 point, right? So, and then I was trying to convert resources to VPs, and I still had 3 coins and 2 workers that I couldn't do anything with, so I had to turn those into... Oh, and 4 power in bowl 3 that I couldn't do anything with. I would have liked at some point to take the priest power action this turn, this round, but I couldn't. Someone else got to it first. I think the Darklings? Yeah, in round 3. So I had taken my 7 coins, and I didn't have enough power to take the priest yet. Okay. So there you go. Like, we got all connected up. I advanced on digging, and this game was not... Well, I only won by 19 this game. Last game I won by like 23 or something. So it was a bit closer, except that like third place was much further behind. It was like 35. No. 47. Yikes. So Stoichiometry finished third in both of our games together. And if we look at the... Oops, not that. Where all my points came from... Once again, Earth 1 absolutely, like... I'm trying to think of the right slang term for this. I know in, like, England they say you're a brick, like, affectionately. Right? That's a thing that is said in England, I think. Like, you are reliable. I don't know. I hope I'm not just, like... quoting things wrong and it's some big insult, but like I feel like I read that in Harry Potter, right? I don't know. Thanks, Hermione, you're a brick. I don't know. That was many years ago. And this time 9 of our dwellings were built in dwelling scoring rounds, which is much better than last game where I think it was just like 4. We got 2 towns, which is kind of like, I don't know. I think in most games with competent Terra Mystica players, most players will get 2 towns. Not always, especially if you're the Chaos Magicians, it can be tough. But like 2 towns is a good goal to have for most factions. Some factions should try for 3, like the Witches and the Nomads are pretty good at getting 3s. Maybe the Mermaids. And maybe they'll get 3, maybe they won't, but you know, it's nice to try for. But usually a competent player will come up with 2 towns, and we did here. And, you know, just got like a smattering of stuff here and there, right? I actually won a cult track, came second on another. Big surprise to me, both of those. It says 0 for bonus 6. Why not just not list it? What is bonus 6 anyway? Sanctuary Stronghold scoring. Okay, I took it. It added 0 to my points. Okay, fine. I guess you can have that credit. So there you go. Another win in the books, and we're up 12. Remember, it's 6 points for a win, 3 for second, and 1 for third. So we're at 12. Best we could possibly have after 2 games. 2 more to go. And as of the time of this recording, my third game recently finished. No spoilers on how that went, but I expect I'll put up the video in another few days. Not sure how long it's going to take for game 4. That one's still dragging on. We're still barely in the beginning of round 5, so it'll be at least a week, I suspect, probably more. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.